My name is Danielle MacQuarrie. I live in Halifax, Nova Scotia. I lost my aunt a few years ago due to cancer, and when I lost her, it was a very hard loss for me because it was like the first person that I lost in my life that was such a significant person, and she has never left me, and that was the most positive thing I could have gained from the experience. Was I still talk to her every day. I find with my Aunt Mary, I dream about her quite a bit. Dimes are definitely something that me and my mother, we find quite often. We often associate with her. We have a little dish that we keep the dimes that we find out and about. Those rooster pictures were in her house. So it's a rooster's often a symbol. So if I watch television and a rooster shows up, or I see a rooster in real life, or if I dream about roosters, it's always her. I grew up with my mother and my brother. It was just the three of us. She was a single parent, and in all honesty, it was the best mother I could possibly have, because she kind of encouraged this spiritual aspect of my life. Like, she never made me feel like what I was experiencing was wrong or that I was imagining it. She embraced it and she nurtured it. Like, as a child, like, I often would spend hours alone in the woods with my cat. Like, we would just go out in the woods and like travel together, and if I wasn't at the woods, I was at the beach. And it was just a place to kind of like decompress from the day's activities. Like, I was so sensitive as a child, still as an adult, and it's just, it was so important for me to have that time and space where I could feel so connected to something that was bigger than myself. Being outside and being in nature, I felt more connected being outside. And there's a realization that you don't need that building to be connected. You don't need to be in a church. You don't need to be inside. You can be outside and feel spirit and feel connected. So I was taking a course a few years ago, and some of the students in the class mentioned Shawn's name, and I instantly was interested, and I went online and looked up a little bit of information about him, and I saw that he was doing an event at the Forum in Halifax, and me and my mom went, and we were read one of the first people he read during the group event, and it was amazing. And when I found out he was teaching the Spirit Talker Tribe course, it was something I knew I wanted to be part of. One of the things that I loved about this course as well was just learning my guide's name and being able to have more of a relationship with my guides. Like, I knew I had guides before taking the course, but I didn't know what they looked like, and I didn't have a sense of who they were. And now I just, if I dream about them, then I know exactly that was my guide, or I can talk to them and I can ask them specifically, like, can you help me with this situation? Or I'm going through a tough time, can you just guide me through it so that I don't feel so alone. So then I kind of rely on them more so than I used to, just because I feel a personal connection to them. I've made prayer and meditation a daily practice of mine. Before this course, it wasn't. It was just like, if there was a crisis or something in my life, it would be like, that's the time to pray, and that was the only time to pray. And through Shawn's teachings, it was a realization of, to incorporate it into daily life. And I have actually thoroughly enjoyed it, more so than I was expecting, and been kind of enriched by it, just because, through prayer, it's our way of communicating to spirit, and then having meditation allows spirit to communicate back to us. So it kind of gives more of a two-way connection that I didn't realize was possible. So it's something I do literally every day now, and it's just increased my spiritual abilities. And in terms of connecting to friends and family, they've noticed a change. In terms of my card reading or whatever, they've noticed that I'm more connected than I used to be, and I'm giving more vivid responses and more concrete validation for them. There's something about being able to help someone, especially when it comes to spiritual matters, just because for me it's so important, and I know it can be life-changing for other people. So when you're able to relay a message to them about a loved one that's passed away or whatever, it's it's just an incredible feeling, just because I know how important it is to me, and I know to them it can be life-changing as well. So it's just, you know, I don't think there's a greater gift in this world than to be able to help someone on their spiritual journeys. What I would tell people is to trust your voice, your inner voice. Trust what you feel in your heart is true, and go with that. And I mean, it's not just in spirituality, it's in any regard in life. Like, you just need to trust what's inside and let it out and speak your truth.